Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to our English class. I hope everybody is ready for our session this evening. Now, in this session, as you can see on your screen, we're going to have sets of exercises. There will be five sets of exercises. Each exercises will contain 10 items. So I've already mentioned this last meeting yesterday that since we are already finished with our discussion on places vocabulary, we are going to have an assessment for it. So, of course, assessment for me is very important because this is my way to see if you have learned something from our previous discussions, especially considering that um, we had sessions, three sessions in total for the places vocabulary. So to check no all those things that you've learned about this particular topic, I am going to assess you. I am going to let you do some exercises. And of course, I would highly appreciate your participation on this. You can always share your answer in our chat box. I will constantly check it from time to time so as to see your responses, your replies, your answers to the questions, or even your questions if there are any. Okay? I will constantly check it from time to time so that I can acknowledge what you are sharing to everybody. Okay? Again, I would highly encourage you to choose or to use the chat box because that is my way to know that you are here with me listening and participating in our exercises. Okay? Now, before we immediately go over to the exercises, I want to do a quick review of our topic on places vocabulary. Now, how do we define places? We understand, right, that places are locations where there are four ways we can categorize places. These are locations where we live, we work, we learn, and we play. So those are places, okay, locations, and each location has its own um purpose. Okay. Now, um, in the context of our um, in the context of what we have learned, places are defined as the specific fixed geographical locations where we spend the various moments of our daily lives. So, of course, they are the destinations that give purpose to our journeys and the reasons why we use roads, why we use vehicles, and such thing. Okay, so of course, we consider or we know that a place is not just an empty area, right? It is a location with a specific identity and, of course, a clear function within a neighborhood. So that is place. Now, places have different categories that we've discussed or tackled. We started with school places. Okay, in school places, it includes the following: the classroom, where it is a room where students learn together and engage. We also had library, which is a place full of books for reading and studying. At the same time, we also have playground. This is an outdoor area where children can play and enjoy. So that is the playground. And lastly, we also have the cafeteria, where the students will take their lunch, eat, and socialize. So for the school places, we have four types for vocabulary under it. We have the classroom, library, playground, and the cafeteria. Next to that is we have the towns and city places. So that is the second category. Again, the first category is school cafeteria or just cafeteria. Our second category is town and city places. Now, how do we define a town? or a city. Town or city, it is more of like a big community where many people live and work together. Okay, that is a town or a city. Now, in a town or a city, there is a high possibility that you will see many tall buildings and busy streets. Okay, that is for more on the town or city. Now, for the town or city, we've included the park. What is a park? It is a wonderful green space where we can have fun and relax. That is a park usually visited by the families, friends. No, so park is for relaxation or socialization, interaction. Okay. Next to park, we also have hospitals. We know that hospitals is a vital place for medical care. If you are sick or if you are injured, you go to the hospital, no, to receive the proper treatment that you need from doctors and nurses so that you can recover properly. So that is a hospital. Next to that is the bank. Now, a bank, it is a place where just you need to save or borrow money. So it provides services like checking accounts, loans, um, safe deposit boxes. So people visit banks to manage their finances and secure their funds. Okay, that is a bank. Again, it is a place to save, to borrow, not to secure funds. That is a bank. Next to that is the post office. Now, a post office is a vital service where people send and receive mail. So it offers various mailing options and is a convenient place for posting letters and packages to loved ones. Basically, the post office, it is where you can send your mail, no, a physical mail to another person in such a long distance, or they are from a long distance. Okay, that is post office role. Now, the last one to that, not yet the last one. Second to the last is the supermarket. What is a supermarket? This is a place for food, basically. Supermarket, it is what you call that? It is a big store where you buy food. So it is a vital part of the working and living sections of our community life because it provides the nourishment we need to stay healthy and strong. So that is supermarket. Again, this is a big store, um, a place for food, for grocery shopping. Okay. Now, let me just clarify to you. When we say groceries, of course, that is plural. It is expected that we use the food and household items we buy regularly. So, a supermarket, on the other hand, is a great place to shop for groceries for your whole family. Okay? That is supermarket. Usually, inside a supermarket, you see different sections. No, it could either be the produce section, the snack aisle, the dairy and good foods, cold foods. So, yes, that's on the different sections of the supermarket. Now, the last one is the bus station. When we say a bus station, it is a lively place where buses stop to pick up passengers. Okay? It is for picking up passengers, not the bus. And then after that, we are already done with the towns and city places. We move on to the nature places. Again, what is the town and city places? We have the bus station. After the bus station is supermarket, post office, banks, hospitals, and park. Okay, that is the town and city places. Next to this is the nature places. Now, what is a nature places? Well, everyone. Nature places are just basically more of like a vacation spot because these are areas of land or of water that have not been covered by tall buildings or roads. Basically, all you can see is nature, no hint of building at all. So that is nature places. Sorry. For example, say for example the beach. A beach, right, is a sandy area with the ocean or lake. So we swim and build sandcastles at the beach. That's what we do to enjoy our time there. So a beach is a unique place for playing, basically. No? So that is a place. Next to that is the mountains. So we're already done with the waters. We're going to move into a high tall landform because that's what mountain is, no? It offers stunning views and adventures. We often hike up mountain on weekends to enjoy nature and stay active with friends and family. So more on the health of the person. We're trying to include or consider that one. Okay? That is a mountain. After the mountain, we also have the rivers. What is a river? It is a large stream of water that flows continuously. So rivers really provide, right? Sorry for that. Then rivers provide habitats for various wildlife, including fish and essentials for ecosystems recreation, sorry. So it's for that. It's necessary for that purpose. That is rivers. And then next to rivers, we have the forest. A forest, it is a large area full of trees. You provide homes for various animals. It is a vital ecosystem that supports biodiversity. You offer shelter and food for wildlife in a beautiful environment. So that is a forest basically. Again, a forest is a large area full of trees. As long as there are trees, plenty of trees that you can see for this one, that is considered as a forest. Okay? And then we also have farm, the last one. Well, a farm, excuse me, a farm is a wonderful place where people grow food and raise animals. So farmers, they work really hard to ensure that we have fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and dairy products to enjoy every day. So that is the nature places. Again, we have farm, forest, rivers, mountains, and of course, the beach. We move on to home places. Okay. Now, in the home places, we have the kitchen. A kitchen is a room where we cook food. Okay. It is often filled with delicious smells and busy activities. That is a kitchen. And the next is the bedroom. We know a bedroom is a room where we sleep. So it typically features a comfortable bed, a nightstand, a cozy decor. So that is more on the bedroom. Okay. You sleep and you get comfortable. And then next we have the bathroom. A bathroom is necessary for your class. Well, a bathroom is the necessary space in every home where we perform daily hygiene, activities such as washing our hands, taking showers, and brushing our teeth to stay clean and healthy. So that is on the bathroom. Okay. Aside from that, we also have gardens. Now, a garden it is an outdoor area where we grow beautiful plants and flowers. We can plant vegetables or create colorful flowers beds to enjoy while spending the time outside with family and friends. Okay, so that is gardens, and then that is all for the nature places. We have the gardens, not nature place, home places, nature, um, Gardens, again, nature places, okay? Nature places. We have the gardens, bathroom, bedroom, and of course the kitchen. And then we move on to another set of category, which is the travel places. Well, travel places includes the airports. Again, an airport is a bustling place where planes take off and land. Aside from that, we also have train stations. Now it is a place where trains stopped for mass passengers. And then hotels, which is supposedly a cozy and welcoming place to stay when traveling. Okay, we often enjoy relaxing and exploring new cities during our vacations while staying at a hotel with their family. Yes. Okay. And then next is museums. A museum is a place to explore art and history, so that is a museum. And then last one we have the restaurant. Now, what is a restaurant? A restaurant is a place where you buy and eat food. Okay? Okay, places recap. So those are all for the how do you call it? For the travel places. Again, for the travel places, we include the airport, train stations, hotels, and museums, as well as restaurants. So that is his decision. Okay, for a moment. Okay, for a moment, everyone. Okay, so sorry for that. I keep pausing. But anyway, let's continue. For set one, we match activities to the correct place. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. Now, this is how it looks like. There will be 10 questions in total. There is a prompt, a question. For example, where do you go to sleep and rest? And then, of course, your options here. We're just going to click this one. Okay, so yes, let's start right away. Where do you go to sleep and rest? Uh, this one, it has this particular thing. And then another hint, it's in your home. So it narrows down, the options that you have. Again, it's in your home. Basically, how many options you have left? No? In home. In home, we have one, two, not two, one, two, three, and four. So four options. What do you think is the answer? That is the bedroom. Let's see. Okay, correct. Let's move on to the next question. Where do students study and learn? Again, where do students study and learn? Hint, teachers are here. Oh, the teachers are also included there. And of course, the teachers as well as the student use books and knowledge. So where basically you can do we can do study and learning. That is it a cafeteria? Of course not, because again, by definition, what is a cafeteria? That is where we take our lunch. So of course, cafeteria is wrong. How about playground? Playground, yes, that is part of the school places, but again, we've established that a playground is an outdoor area where children can play and enjoy. So that is a playground. Again, an outdoor area. So usually we do read inside, right? And last one, we have the airport. Now, airport, of course, basically not. Because how do we define the airport? Again, airport is basically that is the place where we are going to have, how do you call it? Um, it is about it is more of like a very busy place where planes take off and land. Okay, you wait for your flight to somewhere, may it be local or international. Answer here, if it's not a cafeteria, playground, or airport, that would be the classroom. Okay, next question. That is correct. Where do you play games and exercises? Well, hint, it has swings and studded. It has swings and studded. It has swings and slides. So again, where do you play games and exercises? Okay. This is basically a classroom vocabulary. And not a classroom, but a school places vocabulary. So you can find it there. It has swings and slides. What do you think? Is it the library? Of course not. You're not permitted to, play games and exercises in library because it is expected to be quiet. And then is it the hospital? Of course not, because hospital are for treatment and for recovery. And of course, it wasn't mentioned that they need the recovery. Okay. Museum. Also no, because again, by definition, museum is where we see, arts. That one. So of course our answer here is playground. From the name itself, play. Again, where do you play games and exercises? Next question. We have, where do you eat lunch at school? So we are talking about school places here. A place in school. Again, where do you eat lunch at school? Some students are confused. Where do they eat lunch at school? Because hint, many students eat together. So hint, um how to call it? Yes. Well, where do you eat your lunch at school? That would be the kitchen. Well, it will be confusing between the kitchen and the cafeteria because of course kitchen deals with food, but we're talking about eating lunch at school. Of course, that is the cafeteria. Bedroom is, of course, we already answered that one in the last question. Garden is not fitting for the definition. Next, where do you borrow books? It's quiet and full of books. Okay, so that is the cafeteria. Next question we have, where do you borrow books? What is our hint? It is quiet and full of books. That is a book. What you call it? That is the um, answer for this item. Again, we have the borrowing. Where do you borrow your books? No, it's quiet, it's full of books, basically. Okay. Now for borrowing books, they have this not similar pattern, but another pattern, okay? Now for the second category, we are going to talk about that later on. But here the answer of where do you borrow books? Hint, it's quiet and full of books. Of course, that is the library. Okay. Next question. We also have where do you cook meals? Okay. Where do you cook meals? I would cook it in the, of course, not the bathroom. It is for your biological needs. For bedroom, not also, and as well as garden. So we're going to talk about the kitchen. Now, when it comes to cooking, and of course, you know it's good, right? Okay, so that is the answer. Kitchen. Next question. Where do you grow flowers and vegetables? So hint plants grow here. Again, where do you grow flowers and vegetables? So that is the question. What do you think is the answer? Of course, that would be the garden, right? Okay, that is correct. So when we talk about flowers, vegetables, that would be the garden. No, it's totally different from the forest. Next. Okay. Next question. Where do you go swimming at the seaside or sand and ocean? That's the hint. Again, we're going swimming at the seaside. Okay. That is, of course, not a mountain. You cannot swim. Well, you can build some pool, but of course, it's not common to swim in the mountain. How about farm? Farm as well. Because when it comes to farming, we focus on the um how does this job brings money to the table, especially in a family. Now, that is a farm's responsibility. And the last one is reality. Okay. So what is our answer here? That is the beach, of course. Okay. Amazing knowledge. Keep it up. Correct. Great job. Thank you. Next question. Where do you go hiking in nature? It's very high and scenic. Okay, this one high and scenic. Where do you go hiking in nature? Okay, next question. Oh, we're not done yet. So please maximize or use our chat box, okay? For any kind of interaction. Again, the question is where do you go hiking in nature? It's very high and second. So just like this. This is a mountain. Okay. And then last question for this set. Where do you bath and wash? Hint it is the shower or bath full. Again, where do you bath and wash? Okay. Where do you bath and wash? That is. What do you think? Again, where do you bath and wash? Hint it has a shower or a bathtub. So what is our answer here? Where do you bath and wash? Of course, that would be the bathroom, right? So kitchen is for cooking, bedroom is for relaxing, for sleeping, garden is outside. Of course, you're going to bath inside. Where do you bath and wash? It has a lower staircase or um bath hall. So enjoy the we enjoyed the free ride. Okay, so that is the correct answer for this. Where do you want to bath and wash? That is the bathroom. So let's try to see the results. Of course, 10 over 10. I hope you also had 10 over 10 as your score. You can share your score in our chat box to see if how well do you know your vocabulary in places. Okay? I hope later on we can see some chats. Okay? Again, I will be checking from time to time so as to really not miss the chat entirely. Okay, perfect score 10 over 10. Try again. But of course, let's do a quick break for um 8 minutes. So time check, it's 6:32. We will be back by 6:40. Okay. Let's do a quick break. Goodbye, everyone. See you at see you by 6:40 p.m. Okay, we are back again. We are going to continue with another set of exercise. So we've done one set of exercise already with 10 items in total, which is it's we match how do you call it? We match the activities to the correct place. No? So there are options that you've provided earlier. Now, on the set two, we understand the meaning and the purpose of each place. So, still, we have 10 items in total. Again, be reminded that we're talking about places vocabulary. Okay? Are we all ready? Let's take a moment to be ready again because, again, we've had our break. So, I need you to do a quick breathing exercise, basically. So, on my cue, inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. You exhale like that so as to really let out, remove all the negative energy, the stress you've built up today. Okay, again, inhale, exhale. Okay, we move on to set two. Okay, again, 10 items in total. Now on set two, there are, how do you call this? We understand the meaning and purpose of each place. So, first item. What is a museum? A museum is a place where you continue that one, you continue its definition. Now, there is a hint there. It displays important things. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Is a museum where a place where you take trains? What do you think? Do you take trains in a museum? Of course not. Okay, the place where it you take trains is a train station. Okay, how about a place where you buy food? Do you buy food in a museum? Is it the thing that is mentioned as an important thing here in the hint? No, you do not buy food in a museum, everyone. No, that is the cafeteria. How about you sleep at night? So, is a museum a place where you sleep at night? Well, yes, in your room, no, it displays important things. You have important things inside your room, but you do not display it really explicitly for everybody to see. Okay, so this as a museum is not a place where you sleep at night. That is the bedroom. Okay? Again, that is the bedroom. So our answer here is you see art and history. So what is a museum? It is a place where you see art and history. And art and history are important things or ideas. So the things referred to here is the type of art the person made, for example, painting, no, drawings, pictures, such things, or the very artifact. So, those are important things that refer to the art and history. So, again, what is a museum? It is a place where you see art and history. So, that is correct. Great job, everyone. I hope everybody is on fire as the same with me. So, again, we'll be reminded that you can always use our chat box for your answers or questions. Okay, I am constantly checking it. Next, what is a hospital? It is a place where, so we have here hint. Oh, doctors work here. So do you eat meals in hospital? Yes, we eat meals in hospitals, but that is not the main purpose of the hospital. Okay, that is just secondary or even tertiary. So you do not the very basic definition of a hospital is not eating meals. That is the cafeteria, right? So, of course, that is not the answer. How about you sleep all night? Yes, you sleep all night if you are the patient or the one um, the one facilitating, the one taking care of the patient. You sleep all night. But again, that is not the main definition of a hospital. So it is not a place where you sleep all night. Okay? How about you catch trains? Of course not. Okay? You do not catch trains in hospitals. Not even a secondary thing or tertiary. So of course, our answer here is you get medical help. Again, what is a hospital? That is where you get medical help. Now, what do you mean by medical help? So it is basically where you injured yourself, you hurt yourself, you need to put medicines on it, you need to take care of it, you need to recover. So you will find many kind people whose job is to help you feel better. What are these people? One is the doctor that was mentioned in the hint. We also have nurses and other helpers. So again, what is a hospital? It is a place where you get medical help. So that is correct. Again, a hospital is it is basically a safe place to recover. Now when we say recover, it means to get better and to become healthy again because of course people get sick or people get injured. So of course it is really uh, we cannot really avoid going to hospital if especially if the case is really severe, it's worse. So you need to recover in the hospital because the hospital it provides a safe and clean environment for this to happen. So it has special machines that can see inside your body. There is a medicine that helps you stop hurting. Okay, that is a safe place to hospital for hospital. So again, a hospital is a place where you get medical help. Next question. What is a supermarket? Again, what is a supermarket? It is a place where, hint, you shop for food and supplies. Again, you shop for food and supplies. So that is the supermarket. Now, how do we define a supermarket? We've established, right, that a supermarket it is a big store where you buy food. Okay? So a supermarket it is a big store where you buy food. As mentioned here, it is a vital part of the working and living strong of our community. Especially because it provides the nourishment we need to stay healthy and strong. Okay? Okay. What do you think a supermarket is? Is it a place you read books? Well, you can read one, but that's not the main purpose. Do you see movies? No, of course. You play games? You can if you're bored out of your mind, but of course not the main definition. So what is a supermarket? It is a place where you buy groceries. Okay? Again, it is a very large building designed to hold a massive variety of items in one convenient place. So while a classroom is a room where students study together, a relationship is a space where they took um that one. So a supermarket is basically a place where you buy groceries, a place for food. Okay? So that is a place. A supermarket is a place where you buy groceries. Okay? That is the correct answer. So a supermarket is a major destination in our town or city categories. If you remember, it is a place where many people work as cashiers, as bakers, or bankers, and self shell stackers. Okay. So, what is a supermarket? It is a place where you buy groceries. Next, what is a farm? It is a place where there's a hint. Plants and animals live here. So that is a farm. Now, what is a farm, everyone? Or anyone? What is a farm? It is a wonderful place where people grow food and raise animals. So it's here in the hint. So we're talking about the plants, or I mean, the farm here. So again, a farm is a place where do you watch movies in a farm? Of course not. How about catch planes? Also, no. You borrow books in a farm? No. So we are left with the answer you grow crops and raise animals, which was mentioned by me earlier. Okay? So a place, so a farm, it is a place where you grow and raise animals. Okay? Correct. Great job, everybody. Oh, fantastic. You really know your places. Let's move on to the next question. What is a restaurant? Again, what is a restaurant? It is a place for, or it is a place where blank. So, hint, chefs prepared meals. Again, chefs prepared meals. So, what is a restaurant? It is a place where do you stay out overnight? Of course not, because you're just going to eat. Do you work out in a restaurant? No. How about do you read books? You can, but of course, it's not the primary or the main purpose of the book. So, a restaurant, is it a place where, or it is a place where people cook and serve food? Again, that is a restaurant. That is where people cook and serve food. Now, how do we define a restaurant? Basically, this is where people cook and serve food. So, it is also a place where you buy and eat food. No, you enjoy dinner with friends and family at the restaurant. You try different dishes and experiencing fun atmosphere together. Okay, that is a restaurant. So before we move on, any questions, everyone? Any questions? We're already halfway of our last exercise for this evening. Do we have any questions? None? Let's move on to the next item. What is a train station? It is a place where, a hint, trains stop here. Oh, well, that's very obvious. So, again, what is a train station? Is a train station a place where you buy clothes? Of course not. Do you see doctors in a train station? Also not. How about borrow books? What books do you borrow in a train station? I don't understand because it's not the correct answer. So our correct answer here is what is a train station? A place where trains arrive and depart. So that is the correct answer. Okay, so that is a train station. Again, how do we define a train station, everybody? Okay, a train station, it is a place where trains arrive and depart. Okay, next question. What is a bank? A bank, it is a place for, okay, of course, the hint here is money is kept safe here in this place. So, what is a bank? A place where do you learn subjects? No. What category is that? It is the classroom. I mean, the study under the classroom part. So, of course, a bank is not a place where you learn subjects. How about you swim? Definitely not. Again, swimming is not allowed in a bank. How about you watch planes? You can, but not the main purpose. So, the main purpose of a bank is a place where you save and manage your money. Okay? Again, a bank is a place where you save and manage money. Okay, that is a bank. Now, more or elaborated things for this one is that the bank is a place where to save or borrow, as mentioned in the options. It also provides services like checking accounts, loans, and safe deposit boxes. So people visit banks for um, or to manage their finances and secure their funds. So that is why banks are banks are even here in the first place. So we try to understand it. Again, what is a bank? It is a place where you save and manage money. Okay, next, number 8. What is a post office? It is a place where, so hint, letters and packages come here. So, do you treat your illness? Of course not. That's the hospital. Do you watch movies? No. That's alone time. Do you grow vegetables? Of course no. When it comes to offices, we don't grow anything, okay? So that's not a vegetable. All right. Our answer here is you send and receive email. Because a post office, remember, it is a vital service where people send and receive mail. So it offers various mailing options and is a convenient place for posting letters and packages to loved ones. Okay. All right. Again, a post office is a place where you send and receive mail. Next question. What is a forest? A place where, hint, it's full of nature, long trees. So a forest is a place where do you play games? No. Catch trains? No. You buy groceries? No. So our answer here is money tries. I mean trees and many trees and animals live. So again, what is a forest? A place where many trees and animals live. Okay, that is the correct answer. We shall move on to the last one. Okay, so that is a forest, a place where many trees and animals live. Let's move on to the last item. What is a river? It is a place where, what do you think? We're talking about the river here. So what the hint is that the running water is here. So what do you think is the answer? Okay, again, a river is a place where do you read books? No, you can, but of course not the main purpose. Do you sleep? You can also sleep in a river, but of course not the main purpose. Do you take exams? Of course not. No, no teachers there. It is for relaxation, for solo time, or for your family and friends, relatives, or any kind of person in your life. So that is sunshine. Okay. All right. So, of course, a river is not where you read books, you sleep, and you take exams. Our answer here is water flows through culture. So, that is the correct answer. Great job, everyone. Fantastic. You really know your places. Okay, perfect score. How much is your score? Please type it in. How much did you get? How many did you get out of the 10 items? Okay, you can comment. You can comment. I'll go back to that. So we are already done with the first two set of exercises. First is you match activities to the correct place and understand the meaning to understand the meaning and purpose of each place. So, we are going to talk about more sets of exercises tomorrow, the remaining three exercises. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Anyway, that is all for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating in our set of exercises. Again, we do this to assess your understanding of the test. Now, I hope everybody is also here tomorrow evening for our continuation of our stress of exercises. Okay, so that is all for today, everyone. Goodbye and thank you. Good evening and have a good rest ahead.